Sean had to take responsibility for what he did as an individual. Sean is the one who pulled that gun out. Sean is the one who shot. So he has to take responsibility for that.
I want to start with just the statement from Jay-Z, which is so forceful in its denial. I just read a teeny part of it. It's long. Where he says that they should file a criminal complaint. Is that even possible?
Jaws are falling all across the world because of the betrayal that nobody saw coming. Carter, Sean more commonly known as Jay-Z, has allegedly taken a risky and strategic decision to break with his longtime associate Scene. Diddy's claims this is not merely a tale of waning friendship or professional rivalry, rather, it is a full-fledged legal battle with Jay-Z's survival at stake. If the rumors are accurate, Jay's team has chosen to blame Diddy, making him bear the brunt of the accusations against them both. What's even more shocking is the rumor that Beyonce is the one pushing her husband to take this drastic measure in order to safeguard their empire. Could this be the biggest betrayal in hip-hop history?
This morning, rap mogul Jay-Z is denying allegations he assaulted a 13-year-old girl alongside rapper Sean Diddy Combs. That civil lawsuit filed against Combs in October was amended Sunday to include Jay-Z. The accuser, identified only as Jane Doe, says she was assaulted by both men.
Jay-Z's attorney, Alex Spiro, has filed strong legal documents defending the rapper against accusations from an alleged 2000 incident. Jay-Z denies any involvement, with his legal team employing a scorched earth strategy to discredit the plaintiff's attorney, Tony Busby, and shift focus to Diddy as the true culprit. Spiro has emphasized that Jay-Z wants no part in being framed as the central figure in the case. Sources close to the situation reveal Jay-Z's strategy is straightforward: let Diddy take the fall, distancing himself from any responsibility in the matter.
In a blistering statement, Jay-Z accuses Jane Doe's attorney of trying to blackmail him. He said further, quote, "These allegations are so heinous in nature that I implore you to file a criminal complaint, not a civil one. Whomever would commit such a crime against a minor should be locked away. Would you not agree?"
Jay-Z's legal strategy appears to be heavily influenced by Diddy's current legal troubles, which include serious federal charges that could lead to decades in prison. From Jay-Z's perspective, Diddy is a sinking ship, and any association with him has become a liability. Legal experts suggest that Jay-Z's defense centers on portraying himself as an innocent bystander, unfairly dragged into the case due to his proximity to Diddy. By targeting Diddy, Jay-Z's team is essentially shifting the blame, with the argument that Diddy is already facing significant consequences, so why not let him take the fall for this incident as well? Adding to the drama are rumors that Jay-Z may have provided behind-the-scenes information to authorities about Diddy's alleged misconduct. While there is no official confirmation, legal insiders are buzzing with speculation that Jay-Z may be cooperating with investigators to protect his own interests. If true, this would mark a stunning betrayal of Diddy, who has long valued loyalty and brotherhood. Such a move would undoubtedly strain their relationship, with Diddy likely seeing it as a deep personal affront.
Interesting, because, obviously this civil suit was coming for a while.
Yep.
And there was some talk between Busby and Jay-Z's lawyers. I think both Busby and Jay-Z's lawyers are really alphas.
The plot thickens with Beyoncé's involvement in Jay-Z's decision-making. Sources suggest that the pop icon is playing a key role, urging her husband to take every step necessary to protect their family. Known for her meticulous control over her brand and public image, Beyoncé is reportedly advising Jay-Z that any association with Diddy, no matter how small, is too risky. If true, this highlights just how high the stakes are for the Carters, who are determined to preserve their status as one of the most powerful couples in the world.
And currently is balancing the public's need for information and the defense's need for information so they can prepare for trial versus the effect that this will have on the alleged victim and her psyche. And obviously the world knows that as soon as her name is revealed, everyone is going to come down on her, from the media to her, to his attorneys, to the social media. You're going to get it from all sides.
Jay-Z's legal filings have taken a sharp tone, accusing Tony Busby of recklessness and opportunism. Spiral court motions describe Busby as a headline chaser who failed to properly investigate the claims before filing the lawsuit. They argue that the inconsistencies in the plaintiff's story are glaring, and they've wasted no time in presenting evidence to undermine her credibility. Reports indicate that Jay-Z's team is asking the court for sanctions against Busby, essentially accusing him of abusing the Legal process for personal gain. This aggressive approach is classic Jay-Z, calculated, relentless, and designed to control the narrative. Meanwhile, Diddy is said to be fuming over Jay-Z's tactics. Sources close to the embattled music mogul claim he feels blindsided and betrayed by someone he once considered a close friend. For years the two men were seen as brothers in the industry, collaborating on music, attending events together, and even sharing philanthropic ventures. But now, with their legal troubles mounting, Diddy reportedly feels abandoned.
Jay-Z got his by his sister-in-law on camera. What's her name? Solange. You got it. The feds ain't step in and do nothing. The feds don't care about you getting whooped.
Tension between the two camps is escalating, with both sides exchanging sharp words in the media. Tony Busby has accused Jay-Z's legal team of using bullying tactics and desperation in their defense. In a recent statement, he dismissed the filings as frivolous and intended to intimidate. "They think they can scare us into backing down, but they're wrong," Busby asserted. He also teased that more revelations could be forthcoming, adding to the growing intrigue and complexity of the case. The stakes continue to rise as the battle intensifies.
You know, a lot of times lawsuits are like playing poker. Like you even when you feign, that you have strength, it could be that you have some weakness in your case. So Busby's never going to say that he doesn't have the evidence. I mean, Busby's always going to say he's got the evidence. He's always going to say, "Oh, we're going to look at multiple other people. We're going to do all this," because he wants to put that fear into that individual.
At the core of Jay-Z's defense is his firm denial of any connection to the alleged incident. His legal team has carefully analyzed the plaintiff's timeline, pointing out inconsistencies in her story, such as discrepancies in her description of the party's location and the people she interacted with. Alex Spiro has gone so far as to present photographic evidence, placing Jay-Z elsewhere on the night in question. This strategy aims to cast doubt on the plaintiff's account, portraying Jay-Z either as a victim of mistaken identity or the target of a deliberate smear campaign.
Obviously getting a whole new wave of attention and more focused attention on this victim. So I think it's going to be tied to the media cycle, if I had to guess, and how these rulings continue. And they have this celebrity name that is sort of waiting to take over the headlines when they choose to release it. So I think it will be added, but it's going to be a strategic time.
Some observers believe Jay-Z's aggressive defense strategy could backfire. By publicly targeting Diddy, he risks alienating fans who admire both men and view their friendship as a cornerstone of hip-hop history. The court of public opinion can be brutal, and some critics accuse Jay-Z of throwing Diddy under the bus to save himself. Social media has been buzzing with debates over whether his tactics are justified or self-serving. For a man who has built his brand on loyalty and integrity, the optics of this move are undeniably complicated. As the legal drama continues, one thing is clear: the stakes are incredibly high. Jay-Z is fighting not only for his freedom, but for his reputation, family, and legacy. Every move he makes is under intense scrutiny, with every statement analyzed for hidden meaning. Reports suggest that Beyoncé is guiding him behind the scenes, presenting a united front as the Carters face adversity together. However, the question remains: will this strategy ultimately pay off, or will it deepen the rift between Jay-Z and two men who once stood together at the peak of the music industry?
Back to evidentiary value, yes, it happened 24 years ago, right? More than 24 years ago. But in the allegations, there's a few things. Number one, there's allegation that another celebrity was present at the time, right, in addition to other people. Number two, there's the claim by the victim, right, that she left, that she went and she was seen by a gas attendant who saw her in distress.
What makes this saga even more compelling is the long, complex history between Jay-Z and Diddy, their friendship, shared triumphs, and now their bitter fallout. It's a tale of hip-hop royalty. But how did two of the genre's most iconic figures become entangled in a legal battle that threatens to destroy them both? To understand the present, we must look at the past, at the moments that defined their relationship and set the stage for this explosive conflict. While Jay-Z may be distancing himself from Diddy now, their stories are forever intertwined. As the drama unfolds, one must wonder, is this the end of their friendship, or just the start of a new chapter?
So, civil complaint Simply allegations, needs to be proven in a court of law, but if true, it could rise to the level of criminality, and, we'll see what happens, or if the DA looks and investigates.
The unraveling of Jay-Z and Diddy's relationship is a modern-day epic, a saga of ambition, betrayal, and the unforgiving glare of fame. Their friendship once symbolized the unity and strength of hip-hop's elite, but today it's a battlefield of legal filings and public accusations. To fully understand the magnitude of this fallout, we must look back at their bond's origins, their meteoric rise, and the cracks that eventually shattered their once impenetrable alliance. Jay-Z and Diddy's story began in the 1990s, during hip-hop's transition from underground rebellion to mainstream dominance. Both men were at the forefront of this cultural revolution, each carving out his empire with unmatched talent and business acumen. Jay-Z, a Brooklyn native, was the scrappy underdog with razor-sharp lyricism and an entrepreneurial drive. Diddy, hailing from Harlem, had already become a larger-than-life figure, a master of reinvention and a mogul who turned everything he touched into gold, or platinum.
No, I'm not surprised by the ruling because, as she cited in her order, there are very serious allegations about the danger that he potentially poses to other witnesses and the public at large. There are allegations that he has, been violent with others. He's also attempted to allegedly intimidate other witnesses and still contact witnesses while incarcerated.
Jay-Z and Diddy's paths first crossed in the early days of Jay-Z's career, when Diddy was already a household name through his work with the Notorious B.I.G. and Bad Boy Records. Jay-Z, still establishing himself, found an ally in Diddy, who recognized his potential and opened doors in the industry. Their collaboration on Jay-Z's sophomore album, In My Lifetime, Volume 1, solidified their professional bond, with Diddy adding his signature flair. At the time, they seemed unstoppable, a dynamic duo embodying ambition and audacity.
Not buying it all, Kana, and safety can mean a couple different things. Safety just doesn't mean free from harm of violence. Safety can also, too, means emotional and mental dynamics that could occur by Sean Combs reaching out to potential witness to get them to possibly change their testimony.
As Jay-Z and Diddy's careers soared, so did their egos. By the early 2000s, the two had evolved from collaborators to competitors, each vying for dominance in an ever-expanding industry. Jay-Z's Rockefeller Records and Diddy's Bad Boy Entertainment became rival powerhouses, and while the competition remained largely friendly, there were whispers of tension. Both men were fiercely protective of their brands, unwilling to cede any ground to the other. Despite occasional friction, they maintained a public front of mutual respect and camaraderie. By the 2010s, however, the cracks in their relationship began to show. Jay-Z had transformed into a billionaire mogul with ventures spanning music, fashion, sports, and spirits, while Diddy, though still a formidable force, struggled to keep pace with Jay-Z's relentless rise. The dynamic shifted, with Jay-Z increasingly seen as the king of the hill, while Diddy appeared as an aging icon clinging to past glories. Industry insiders speculated that their friendship had devolved into a cold war, both harboring unspoken grievances.
If you say the wrong thing, or you complain, or I don't know, there's an element where you're just, I guess manipulated in a way to make you feel like, oh, you have to please everyone around you. You can't say anything wrong. You don't want to say a bad thing, or when they're constantly asking, would you like to do and you're like, well, I don't do and they're like, well, why don't you do?
The turning point came in 2024 when Diddy's legal troubles spilled into Jay-Z's orbit. For years, rumors had circulated about the darker side of Diddy's empire, but no one expected the avalanche of allegations that would follow. As Diddy faced mounting lawsuits and criminal charges, his name became a liability for anyone associated with him. That's when Jay-Z made his move, distancing himself from his former ally with remarkable swiftness. In hindsight, the warning signs were clear. Jay-Z's image as a family man and philanthropist increasingly clashed with Diddy's reputation for excess and controversy. While Jay-Z cultivated ties with world leaders and corporate giants, Diddy's brand appeared stuck in the past, a relic of an era defined by bravado and opulence. For Jay-Z, aligning with Diddy was no longer just inconvenient, it had become dangerous.
I don't know the consequences of what that could have been. So I didn't really talk about it. I should have gone to the police. I should have said something other than to my agent. I'm just thankful that there was somebody there. There was somebody at that party who helped me, because I could have ended up in a really bad situation.
The fallout between Jay-Z and Diddy wasn't just about optics. Sources close to the situation suggest that Jay-Z had long harbored doubts about Diddy's loyalty. The two had clashed behind closed doors over business deals and creative differences, and their once solid friendship had eroded into a fragile truce. When the lawsuits against Diddy intensified, Jay-Z saw an opportunity to sever ties once and for all. He framed himself as a victim of circumstance, distancing himself from Diddy and positioning himself as innocent of any involvement in Diddy's alleged misdeeds.
He was using, allegedly, these events to invite them back to these private mansion parties and hotel parties and God knows what else. But he was utilizing the branded events to be able to, get the girls to come over to his private spaces. Allegedly.
The narrative crafted by Jay-Z's legal team is as brilliant as it is ruthless. By shifting the focus onto Diddy, they position Jay-Z as an innocent bystander caught in the crossfire. Court filings emphasize the lack of evidence connecting Jay-Z to the allegations, portraying him as a scapegoat targeted for his wealth and fame. This strategy has won over some skeptics, but it's also drawn criticism for its cold pragmatism. After all, this isn't just a legal battle. It's a public spectacle, and the optics of throwing a longtime friend under the bus are hard to ignore. Diddy, for his part, isn't taking the betrayal lightly. Insiders say he feels abandoned by Jay-Z, whom he once considered a brother. The fallout has left Diddy reeling, not just from the legal implications, but from the personal toll it has taken. For a man who has always prided himself on loyalty, Jay-Z's actions are a bitter pill to swallow. While Diddy has kept quiet in the media, those close to him say he's planning a counteroffensive, which may include airing dirty laundry about Jay-Z's past.
I'm not surprised with the decision. I'm surprised that Judge Subramanian entertained it. He held a 2-hour hearing, which we were covering live, and he issued a 5-page written order. Most other judges, including the 2 previous judges, to consider this issue, summarily denied the bail motion. I think a lot of it stems from Judge Subramanian being a newer judge. This is a Biden appointee. He has a civil background.
The ripple effects of this feud are being felt throughout the industry, as former friends and collaborators are forced to pick sides. The once united front of hip-hop's elite is fracturing under the weight of the controversy. Beyoncé, who has always been a stabilizing force in Jay-Z's life, is reportedly urging him to stay focused on their family and future rather than the fallout. Yet, even she can't shield him from the whispers and side-eyes that come with such a high-profile betrayal. What makes this saga so compelling is the complexity of the relationship between Jay-Z and Diddy. They're not just 2 men in a legal battle, they symbolize an era, avatars of a culture that prizes loyalty and brotherhood above all else. Their friendship was once a beacon of what's possible when 2 black men support and uplift each other in a world that often sought to tear them down. Now, it's a cautionary tale about the corrosive power of ambition and the fragility of even the strongest bonds.
Well, Combs is separated from the general population, right? He's with, or was with, Sam Bankman-Fried at least, and the irony there is that's someone who was granted bail, tried to tamper with witnesses, so the judge revoked his bail. So that just goes to show how these federal judges feel about witness tampering before trial.
As the legal drama unfolds, the big question is clear: how will this end? Will Jay-Z emerge unscathed, his reputation and empire intact, or will the fallout leave a permanent stain on his legacy? And what about Diddy? Can he weather the storm and reclaim his place in hip-hop history, or is this the final chapter of his career? One thing is certain, this isn't just a battle for justice, it's a fight for their legacies, families, and place in history. The outcome will shape the narrative of hip-hop for years to come, defining the future of both men.
And that's not the first time we've seen this tactic, and the last time it actually worked. We reported on this.
The story of Jay-Z and Diddy is far from over. It feels like it's only just beginning. As the court cases progress and new revelations surface, the world will be watching closely, analyzing every move and statement. In the end, this isn't just about 2 men, it's about the culture they helped shape, the empire they built, and the cracks threatening to bring it all down. So, what do you think? Is Jay-Z justified in his actions, or has he crossed a line? And what does this mean for the future of hip-hop? Share your thoughts in the comments, and stay tuned for more updates on this unfolding drama.